All right, welcome everybody to the show. Hope everybody's doing great out there. Looking forward to a nice Friday around the corner. Looks like we are good to go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it like we always do here on Perfect Soulmates. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my Perfect Soulmates army. Today's topic is truly one for the ages. Love is the key to happiness. In fact, it's the only key to happiness, in case you were wondering. For nothing else even matters. I hear it all the time. People wondering about what's the key to happiness? What does it take to achieve happiness? How do I become happy? Calm down, settle down. It's not as hard as you think, although it could be if you allow it to. So I'm here to go ahead and give you that supposed secret, which shouldn't be a secret, but unfortunately these days it's a huge secret because everybody's running around like a chicken with their head cut off, wondering about how to become happy in this life. I could easily solve that for you. I can answer it for you. There's the fast way, but it requires a lot of elaboration. So for the purpose of this stream, I'll go ahead and give it my best shot with the time allotted. But if you want to know more, of course, that's why I wrote a book. That's why I created a 1-hour video course, just 1 hour. No need to make it longer. So that'll tell you everything about happiness and how to achieve it, but I'm here to give you a little preview, just a little bite of what it takes to achieve happiness. So it's not going to be highly detailed, just going to give you a little preview. All right, so sure, you can say that having a job, owning a house, a car, or having children are all part of one's happiness. I've heard it so many times before. Nope, your children aren't even part of the true happiness, because one day they're going to have to leave the household and start a life of their own. Then what? You're left all alone with your partner, if they're still there. However, none of that is worth owning or having without the eternal power of love. You see, you start by falling in love with that perfect friendship that you created. And then from there, if you want to have kids, go ahead. If you don't, that's fine. But after the kids leave, it doesn't mean you stop being a mother or father. I understand all that jazz. I get it. But the love still has to be there. Otherwise, you're nothing when the kids leave. And a lot of parents, unfortunately, who have poor relationships, mother and father, right? They lose it when the kids leave. There's no love. There's no passion. It all died while they were raising their kids. That's not supposed to happen, but unfortunately it happens. Or they get divorced. Now we're talking about single parents out there. Single moms, single dads. What a mess. That's why love matters, people. You got to get it right the first time. So don't just pick anybody. That's why I always say perfect. Perfection. That way it's guaranteed that nothing can go wrong. Yes, I can guarantee you that. But you have to know how. It's an art. Love is an art form. The art of love. You must master that art if you are to succeed without any fear or doubt. So let's go ahead and just jump into it, shall we? Many people have no idea the power of love. It's really sad. But to those who want to remain ignorant about it, I can't help you. To those who are interested, however, I'm here to help you. I'll answer all the questions you can possibly have about life and love, minus the mysteries, which are unanswerable. You can't answer those mysteries. I can give you some theories, so feel free to jump into my Discord server if you're interested. Or simply message me or comment down below, whatever floats your boat. Unfortunately, there are so many lonely people out there living their lives in senseless repetition, which means paying the bills and going home to play video games, watch movies, or listen to music all alone, doing activities all alone, thinking that they're happy. You might have a bit of tranquility, but I guarantee that you're living in misery and in denial if that's the case. You must find and maintain having a partner by your side if you're living all alone. I don't care for what reason you're living alone. You need love in your life. If you want to say no, go ahead. That's just your anger and misery talking. Denial. So, if you want to be happy in this life, you need someone by your side, but not just anybody, as I said before. They have to be your perfect soulmate. And you don't get there overnight. And as a human being, a loving human being, a wise, intelligent human being, you should want to pursue this goal with all of your heart and soul. Otherwise, you're just lying to yourself and you're not living the way a real human being is supposed to live. We have these brilliant capacity for our minds, for our hearts, our bodies. Everybody out there has a capacity to live a happy life, a perfect life, regardless of whatever happens around you. It doesn't matter. You have to focus on what counts most. All right, so let's go ahead and move on here. The problem with living alone is that you're gravely missing out on the most powerful force in life and the guaranteed happiness it will bring, which is love, the power of love. But not just any love, true love. That's a huge difference. There's a very huge difference there. Okay, so if you fall in love with someone, congratulations. Now, can you maintain it? Can you improve it? Can you perfect it? Both of you, regardless of what happens in your lives, whatever comes in the future. It's a I love you no matter what, and it has to be mutual. That requires a lot of maturity, a lot of wisdom, a lot of passion, right? You can't just ask for that. A lot of people will say, I'm not really that committed, sorry. Move on to the next. It's, you can't accept anything less than the best. Best of the best. No retreat, no surrender. If you don't have that attitude, you'll never achieve happiness. Guaranteed, I can tell you that. And those are the people, ironically, who are asking how to achieve happiness. The ones who are not serious about love. They have no idea that that's the answer. But not just any love, as I said. So, most of them have no idea what true love even is. They think love is just love and it includes everything. The way you love your kids, the way you love your best friend. No. True love is above and beyond your wildest expectations, and it's mutual. Your partner has to be perfect for you, and you have to be perfect for them. And yes, you can achieve that together. Anyone who says otherwise is a waste of time, a waste of your life to be with. It's perfection or nothing. All or nothing. Think about it. When you go buy something from a restaurant, do you expect the perfect taste, or are you just settling for less than the best? Sometimes you have to do that, right? But what if you were buying something from a real chef who knows how to cook, and then when you taste that food, you're like, oh my goodness, this is the best I've ever had. How did you do this? Of course you're going to go back there above all the other cheesy, low-quality restaurants out there. Or maybe a massage from a masseuse. That was the best massage I have ever. Oh my goodness, all my muscle knots are gone. My tension, my stress. How did you do that? You have magical hands. Imagine having magical hands at home. Being caressed and massaged by your partner because they learned how to do it. They became masters of perfection. Never settle for less than the best if you're interested in how to achieve happiness. As many people out there say, like zombies, not even trying to achieve it. I'm here to guide you if that's the case, if the shoe fits. All right. So, my goodness, true love requires so much more than you can imagine, but you should be eager to fulfill those requirements. And it has to be mutual, as I said before. That's why the majority of people ultimately fail in the realm of love, because they reach a certain level of progress and then they start to give up on themselves and give up on each other. Slowly, but surely. All these failed marriages, you think that they failed overnight? No, they failed over time. Now, granted, there are some quick get married and divorce occurrences out there. Oh, we got married too soon and that's why we got divorced so soon. I get it. It was a mistake. But it's also a mistake getting involved in a relationship or getting married to somebody that is going to fail in the future on you, or you're going to fail on them, or you're both going to fail on each other eventually. The signs are there. The red flags are there from the very beginning. If I was to take on somebody to train in the martial arts, they would have to be mature, respectful, disciplined before they even start training with me. And these are the requisites. Everybody has requisites. In order to enter the military, you have to meet a certain, you can't be obese, out of shape, right? You have to meet, there's always requirements. That's why love is conditional, 100% conditional. You're not going to accept a criminal into your life, or a violent person, an out of control person, somebody who yells at you and abuses you from the very start. Do you want to enter a relationship like that? Well, if it's unconditional, yeah, everybody's on the table. You see how silly that is? Love is 100% conditional. You must meet the conditions required in order to succeed in the future. Now in the present and in the future. They have to meet all those requisites that you're looking for. No holds barred. If they're not meeting one of them, either improve on it, develop it, or out of sight, out of mind, move on to the next. Otherwise, you're just looking for a world of trouble in the future. If you settle for nobody is perfect, that ridiculous loser's mentality saying nobody's perfect, then guess what's going to happen in the future? Failure. Guaranteed. Failure. Heartbreak. Melancholy. You're going to end up this bitter old person, hating the world, hating yourself, regretting all the decisions you took in life and the decisions you didn't take. For instance, reading my book and watching my 1-hour video course. I bet you'll regret that. But let's go ahead and move forward, shall we? Doesn't have to be hard, people. What happens is people make it hard on themselves for no reason. Because they lack interest. They lack strength. That wisdom that's required in order to learn how to master something. Oh, but they'll master everything else, like how to play Call of Duty, right? Or how to do chores. Or at work. Maybe you're so great at work, but when you come home, you're a lousy husband, a lousy wife, a lousy boyfriend, a lousy girlfriend. Or just a lousy friend to those who you claim to be friends with. It's interesting how much effort people put in other activities except for that which matters most. The realm of love. That one partner that you should have by your side right now as I speak. This happens because everything else going on around you is likely to get in the way of your relationship. If you allow it to. Stress, anxiety, worries, depression, anger, regret, arguments, fear, all of it. There's like a dozen different horrible negative emotions out there in situations that probably a couple dozen negative situations that could possibly happen in the future of your relationship. So are you going to just allow it to happen and say, well, nobody's perfect. That's life. C'est la vie. No, you shouldn't. That's why it's so important to have that perfectionist attitude. Stay far away from people who claim that perfection doesn't exist or say that nobody's perfect. Trust me. If you don't want to trust me, then go ahead and suffer a failed relationship in the future with somebody who's less than the best. Less than the best for you, by the way. They have to meet all your preferences and desires. And yes, when somebody's truly interested in you, that's the lie detector test, people. When they look you in the eyes and say, absolutely, I want to be all those things to you. And much more. I don't know what it is right now, but I want to be much more. It's funny because there's a joke that has been going on with the guys. When there's a female that comes up to him and says, I want to have your babies. I get it, but it's not a joke. There are actually women out there who will say that to you. I want to be your future is what it's translating to. I want to have a family with you. I'm that in love with you right now. Or that attracted to you if it's a beginning of the relationship. Attraction comes first before love. You have to fall into love together. Falling just means settling into the state of love together. It's not you're falling down as if it's something negative. becoming in love with each other, they should have said, instead of falling. But I get it, because you get weak in the knees and you feel like you're going to fall down because the love is so strong. I get it. The energy is so strong. So that's probably where the saying came from, falling in love. All right. But if you and your partner place each other above everything else going on in your life, so important, you'll learn how to make each other your main priority no matter what happens or what could possibly happen. That's what I'm talking about. That's your warrior by your side. That's your everything by your side, regardless if you choose to have kids or not. The kids, that's just a responsibility. You can love your kids, but it's a different type of love. It's apart from the love that you have for your partner. Raise your kids, if that's the case, even if it's just one child. Make sure you do the best possible. It's a great experience to be a mother or a father, but it's also a huge responsibility. So guess what's required in order to properly raise a child or children? Wisdom, intelligence, leadership capabilities, patience, discipline in the right way. Don't you ever strike your child, even if it's on the tushy, because that's abuse. And that's what lowlives do. Uneducated people. People who have a low capacity for love. They have no patience. I don't have any respect for anybody that strikes their child. I don't care if you want to call it spanking. It's not right. It's abuse. And I go over that in my abuse series, by the way. But getting back to the topic, if you choose to have kids, that's great. But like I said before, you start and you finish strong. Well, if you want to have kids, well, when you have the kids, you have to be highly responsible, highly attentive, and vigilant. Go ahead, raise your children. It's going to take a long time, by the way. You both have to be very strong and enjoy the experience. Don't fear it. Don't fear the experience of being a mother or father. Do the best job. Do what your mothers and fathers didn't do. Be better than them, if possible. Unless you had awesome mothers and fathers, which is rare. And then when the kids leave the house or the child leaves the house, then guess what? You guys have to come back together. Now your son or children, your daughter, they'll come back and visit you. Look, I get it. But that's just to visit you, to see how you're doing. Now, if I come back home, I expect that my parents are crazy in love with each other and they're happy in my absence, right? You see, that's the way the circle of life works. Because then your children are going to have to learn how to become mothers and fathers by themselves through their own experience. You can't really teach them that. You can give them pointers all you want, but it's up to them how they choose to be. Like I said before, you can do the best job as a mother or father and they can still turn out to be a really bad apple, let's just say. They can turn to the dark side. So, do your best and hope for the best. But focus on the one that matters most, your partner. Because they're going to be there in the beginning and in the end. You see why that matters so much? It's everything. And if you don't have that attitude, you will lose. Everything's going to crumble before you. So make it happen. Warrior's mentality, people. In order for that to happen, a couple must be mature, passionate, loyal, devoted, wise, intelligent, selfless, enthusiastic, optimistic, courageous, and masters of the art of love. That's how you master love. Everything. And there's so much more. That's just a small little list there. I can literally go on forever talking about what's necessary in order to make love eternal together as one. You have to be a team from the very start, and it's hard to teach people this because a lot of people are lazy. They're not so intelligent and they're not wise. I'm not talking about book smart. You can't learn how to love somebody by going to college, even getting a PhD. I don't care what topic of love you're studying. That's not how you develop love. It's an action, not a study. The only thing you'll be studying is yourself, learning about yourself and your partner. You see how it doesn't require book smart. I don't care if you have 2 PhDs or if you speak 10 languages. That doesn't guarantee anything. And definitely not happiness. Yeah, you're smart. But how strong is your ability to love someone with all of your heart and soul? Are you able to tell them yes to everything that they strongly desire? Sexual desires, be their fantasy? Or just normal behavior to make them feel comfortable, protected, and cherished beyond belief, obsessed over? To be your obsession. Can you make them feel that way? You see how you can't study about that stuff? Now, you could consider studying with me right here, right now, study. But no, I'm just giving you advice. That's why I'm a coach. I'm not a professor. So take it or leave it and develop it on your own. But I can't do that for you. That's the point of coaching. I give you the advice. I give you the seeds. You go plant them in your own life. And now that's your plant. It's not my plant. I just gave you the tools necessary for you to construct a life of permanent, eternal happiness. But a lot of people, ignorant people, they hate the messenger because they know how difficult it's going to be for them because they don't have what's required in order to construct such a perfect, happy life. That's the people who dish out their grievances, their pain, their misery offline towards the messenger, myself, yours truly. And I understand that. Anybody who attacks me online is just proving how miserable they are offline. So that's how I'm able to stay so calm about it and say, I get it. You're not ready. And maybe you don't want happiness in your life. And guess what those people do? They go out there asking others, hey, how do you achieve happiness? I just told you how, but you rejected the answer because you're not ready to be happy. And it's really sad, but you got to learn not to care about these people. They want to be losers, let them be losers. You can't save everybody. Like I said, I give you the seeds. You go plant them in your own life. You don't have to give me credit. You can remember me if you want. I appreciate it. But I want you to focus on yourself and everything that you're constructing now. That's yours. I'm just here to guide you. So, all those traits you must have. Unfortunately, not many people have become masters of those traits. That devotion, intelligence, wisdom, selflessness. There's a lot of selfish people out there. There's a lot of cowards instead of courageous people. And there's a lot of novices instead of masters of something. You can master your job all you want, for example, or playing a sport or a video game, or know all the artist names to all the songs and everything, memorizing all this stuff except for what should matter most in life. All right. So if that sounds like too much to ask for, then you'll fail to achieve absolute happiness in this life. Guaranteed. Both partners require a perfectionist attitude when it comes to achieving mutual happiness, and nothing less, as I said before. So you wouldn't settle for less when it comes to your car's safety, right? A seatbelt that's dysfunctional, brakes that are not working right. Why on earth would you accept less than the best in a relationship when you can't accept less than the best when it comes to your own personal safety? When you're driving a car, what about an airplane? Would you get on an airplane that has faulty engines? Think about it. No, you wouldn't, right? Or if the airplane was on fire and they put it out, oh, it's going to be okay. Just get on the plane anyway. Would you get on? Think, people. It's not that difficult. So would you get involved in a relationship if you already see red flags? If you're like, well, maybe I should just settle because I don't think I'm going to find anybody else. Wrong answer. If they don't meet what you expect of them, it's time to move on. Because they say that love moves mountains. If that's true, then how could you not even find somebody who's going to meet all your needs and accept that as reality? So you're lowering your standards, lowered expectations. Now that's the formula for future failure. Understand? And yes, there is someone out there who will check off all those blocks for you. That's the key to happiness right there. But it starts at the beginning. When you go buy a home, are you going to go buy a home that's falling apart like the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Or it has an unsteady foundation or sewer problems? It smells bad. No. I mean, all your hard-earned money, right? Well, when you jump into a relationship, a serious potential lifelong relationship, are you going to accept somebody showing signs of extreme negativity or potential problems down in the future? Already you're having these bad arguments. No, you shouldn't. Understand? And that's what makes true love so special. It's a 2-for-1 special, where both partners reach happiness together as one. Think about it. It's not your happiness, it's mutual happiness. Because if you're happy, she should be happy. If she's happy, then you should be happy. That's the whole point of being partners, to make each other the happiest person on earth. And it works both ways. So, be sure to read my book and watch my 1-hour video course for much, much more that I can't just cover in 30 minutes here. Let me go ahead and check the chat, see if there's any sign of intelligent life out there before I end this stream, obviously. Okay. So, looks like we are good to go. So, for everybody watching post-stream, thank you so much. And I really hope that people out there who are listening to this whenever, even if it's 10 years down the road, take your life seriously. Take your future happiness seriously. And if you're with someone already, that's your opportunity right there. And they better understand the same thing about you, that you're their opportunity. They're one shot to becoming happy, both of you. In life, you cannot be happy all alone. Remember that. It takes two, right? You know the saying, it takes two to tango. Well, it takes two to become the happiest person that you'd never imagined possible. Because if you were truly happy right now, you would be all over my comment section. You would already have read my book, watched my movie, if you were already happy, by the way. That's why a lot of unhappy people won't choose to do so. I understand that. They're not ready. They actually fear potentially becoming happy. Just like many people fear freedom. That's why they support, well, we have to, governments. But anarchy is perfectly fine. But regardless, even in anarchy, we're still going to have our own system of governance. It's just going to be a more free system, but it could be chaotic too. It depends on the wisdom, maturity, and intelligence of the people. It always will. So, in a way, governments are doing a good job these days, in a way, because at least we have some type of order, even though it's not the best at all, not even close. So, the same thing in a relationship. You guys are governing the relationship. Don't let it go south. Don't let it go poor. Always maintain the richness of that power of love, by all means. So, never toss each other under the bus either, no matter how stressful life gets. Don't take out your stresses on each other. All of that stuff should be kept in mind. And with that said, now you know the answer. That true love is the key to happiness in this life. That it takes two to reach it. That you can't reach it all alone. So all you single people out there lying to yourselves and denying to you, if the shoe fits. If you're single trying to look for somebody, congratulations. You'll eventually find it if you try hard enough. But never settle for less than the best. That's my advice to you single people out there. And remember, don't go out on dates. Get to know somebody as a friend. Strong friendship first. Then maybe, it's not guaranteed, maybe if you guys click well enough, you'll fall in love. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Looking forward to an exciting Friday tomorrow and maybe another stream. Who knows? So much love to everybody out there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.